Hi there. Welcome to Sunnyside Journals. Welcome to 30 minutes of my day. Happy Friday. I'm losing track of time. Happy Friday. I hope you're all doing well. I haven't got much further on my little Peerless Reciter here. The only thing that really I've got done since we were last together is, remember we put in this fabric. Oh, I'm losing things already on the floor. I'll get it later. I put in this fabric, and I, off camera, when I was done, I realized the cover is so aged and grimy, and this just looked quite fresh and perky. And it didn't look, one of these things is not like the other, you know what I mean? So I wanted this a little bit more subdued so that it would go into the background and not be glaringly, oh, there's some white and blue fabric. So what I did was I actually used this stenciling brush, because I wish I had actually thought about that before I glued it in, but I wasn't going to peel it out. So what I did was I used the stenciling brush. I used a little combination of black ink and brown ink, and I just sort of rubbed it around on there and rubbed it around on there, and just kept doing it until I was satisfied with that color. And that way, when I do fold it down, do you see what I mean? It's going to just sort of slip away into the background, and then hopefully we will just, be gazing at this handsome gentleman instead of a bright white, blue, and gray fabric, as pretty as it is, because I do love it, and I think I may try and find somewhere else to use it. But today I want to glue this up, so I'm going to turn it up this way and glue it down, and then my cover hopefully will mostly be done. I can wait and decide later if I want to put that little bit of lace down here, and I do think I do want to, but I'm going to hold off just for a little bit, because I want to sort of make my plan of attack as far as whether I want it to hug around here. Then I have to decide, as far as putting in the text block and putting in the end papers, how I want to, what order I want to do all these things in. So in the meantime, let's do this. I'm going to just use 3-in-1. I still haven't refilled my other, my Sugar Bell bottle, so I'm going to have to do that, but I'll do it later off camera. So I'm going to start here and get part of it done. And then I'm going to do something, and I'm going to explain why I'm doing it. Yeah. Oh, where is my... There, this little guy. Gosh, I love this little guy. It just spreads it around, and then you just, when it dries, you just peel it right off. It's just magnificent. I am so glad that I always want to call her Roxy, but her channel is actually, that's the name of her channel. It's like if my name was Sunnyside, and which it's not, because her channel is Roxy Creations. It's not her name. I want to say Rachel, but in my head, and I'm sure a lot of you do it too, in my head I call her Roxy. And it's a great name. I have a friend named Roxy. So I must say, I like the name. All right, let me put that aside. So this is going to come up. Now I want to flip it over and make sure I like where it is. See, I want that down a bit. So let's move it down just a smidge. Let's see. Bring that up a little bit. Okay. Alrighty. And I'm going to bring you up just a smidge. I don't want to pat it down firmly yet until I'm sure that I'm happy with that. Make sure that little dent in the joint is nice. Let's see, because I still have time. That's the nice thing about 3-in-1 and Fabri-Tac is you do have, I call it fudge time, you know, because if you go, oh, fudge, I didn't want that. It's not like with art glitter glue where it's sort of, that's it. You put it down, it's done, it's down. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I like that. Do you see what I mean? How it's just, it's there, but I made it grimy because the book is grimy. And yeah, now here's where I'm going to do something a little bit strange, but I have two things that I want to avoid. I want to avoid any further bulk in here. And I also want to be able to actually run this off and up inside here. And I'll tell you why. I want you to imagine that this is my end paper. So when that is glued in and when my text block is in, and then I put down my end paper, do you see what I want to happen? I want it to just sort of gently hide and go underneath. And if I glue it like that, the way it is right now, and then I put my end paper on there, do you see what's going to happen here? It's just going to look not pleasing. So that's why I haven't glued these down yet. But think about it, if I angle this up, that leaves bulk here. So I'm going to clip like a little V out of there. And just go in. And then I'm going to take like a triangle out. So do you see how, I hope you can see, I've sliced almost down, but not quite. Maybe an eighth. And now I will put some glue here. Oh, I think I need to put some underneath there. And then I'm just going to, I want some more of that off. So that is still a little too much. Again, I just want to prevent bulk right in that hinge. So by doing that, there we go. Okay, I'm very happy with that. I am going to, where are my little thingamabobs? I use these because sometimes old covers can be mushy, and if you put a clamp on it, you can dent your cover. So let's clamp that down. I wonder if I want two. I think I want two. Let's clamp that down. Very good. Now, I don't think I brought my glue right out. No, I didn't. So let's finish doing that. Under here. I was surprised, and I forgot to save some to show you, but I realized when I trimmed off the inside of the little, it was either the head or the foot, that this book at one time was powder blue. It was a beautiful robin's egg sort of powder blue. But it's 127 years old. So I guess that she's allowed to do that. All right. Now let's see. Now I got this side glued down, so it was just that side that didn't get done. So I'm going to lift this a little. There we go. So that it will be angled up and hide underneath my end papers. Hold on. And let's just go in here. Let me move it so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to go right in there like this. I'm going to get close, but not quite. And then I'm going to take out a good sized triangle of fabric and not take my finger with it. There we go. All right. And then we're going to go in again. Oh, this is gucky. This is gucky. Hold on. Now, I'll clean. So I'm just going to apply some 3-in-1. You know what? I actually don't need that much of the fabric. It's not going to do anything, so I may as well take it right off. There we go. Just going to hold it for a second before I clamp it. Gosh, sometimes you just have to roll that 3-in-1 right off your fingertips. I want it nice and flat. I don't want this area too bulky because if you think about it, it's going to have another layer of fabric, thinner, not this upholstery type fabric, thinner, a layer of, and 2 layers of paper. So this is going to get quite bulky if I'm not careful. So let's be careful. All right, so let's use these. Clamp it down. There we go. And we'll do the same thing over here. So that one's good. This one I have to pull it a little bit. And I think I'm going to cut it ahead of time this time rather than I glued it down last time and then cut. So I want it cut about there and about there. I maybe want it over a bit. I hope you can see what I'm doing. This is not my most comfortable way to be cutting fabric. But we do what we have to do. Now I think I can safely go that way over. Live and learn, right? I'm not saying that I know what I'm doing here. What I'm doing is what I think will work out well from doing similar things in the past. So let's cross our fingers. All right, now is that the front or that's the back? So There's our front. And then I want to see how the fabric is peeking through here where this was ripped. And I do want to go in there and just give that a little bit of color. Make it a little grimy too. But that's not urgent. All right, here we go. All right. Let's see. Now, I'm going to flip this over. Hold it very carefully when you're doing, oh, we got that one right off the bat. Good. It wasn't as damaged as the foot. The head was a little bit better. Now I want to take a bit more out of there. I'm sorry if you can't see this. I want a bit more of the bulk from out of here. I hate when I get glue all over my scissors, but if you get Fabri-Tac or 3-in-1 on your scissors, yeah, that's better. Just wipe them down with a cotton swab with some acetone on it afterwards, and they'll clean right up. Now try not to get the acetone into any of these joints, because there's usually lubricating oil in there, and you don't want to strip the lubricating oil out of there. I had to learn scissor care in hair school. Scissor and clipper and razor blade care. I can't believe I actually am licensed to use a razor blade. There's a scary thought. And no, they don't make you shave a balloon with shaving cream on it anymore. Now, again, I think this isn't doing anything any good there, so I think I'm going to take it off. It's not doing any good. Actually, now that I think about it, even this isn't. So, what the heck? Let's just take it off. Yeah, there we go. That's all right. Not sure it'll make that much difference, because I won't be using thin paper to be the end papers. I know that for sure. I don't know what the end papers are going to be yet, but I know they won't be thin. Oh, I didn't put my glue in there yet. That would help. I know that it won't be thin. And if I am going to use some thinner paper, and I'm worried about it, that it's too thin, I will back it onto some heavier, stronger paper. Ah! Gucky. Just trying to avoid it on my fingertips. I'm just so prone to getting, what do they call it? Cellulitis. When your skin finally, if you're dipping your fingers in chemicals and your skin finally says, no, I've had enough. Time for me to break out into a big painful rash. That used to happen to me when I was bad in the salon, and I wanted to check inside foils that are covered in bleach and dye, and I'm just going to be fast and to open the foil and check and see how the process is going. It's just so bad for your skin. Not good. But you always think, oh no, I'll be really quick. I'll try not to get any on my skin, and you do. And then by the end of the week, you've got raw fingertips. Alrighty. Come on, stay down. There we go. There we go. this part, I hesitate. I don't want to glue the fabrics together. That one's good. Oh, that glued down nice and flat. All right, yeah, let's do it. Let's just do it. Okay. Channel my inner Nick the Booksmith here. There we go. All right, and let's do this one. Let's see. Let's see what we did. Yeah, see? I glued it on. Let's just be gentle. There. Okay. Well, you know what? That one is still big. It's not too bad. It's not bad enough that I'm going to pull it up and cut it off and re-glue it. Although that didn't get any glue on it. I might just trim it because it's not needed. It's not serving any purpose in there. Gotta watch my fingers. There we go. All right, so you're good. Let's clamp you. And then we'll flip it over and we'll take a look. And then maybe we'll look at some doilies again. It doesn't really, like I said, I'm not going to do it right away, but I always like to know what my plans are. It helps me work it out in my head, my plan of attack. So let's get you out of the way. Is this dry yet? Because then I can show you. I bet it's dry. All right, so do you see all the 3-in-1 on this? So first of all, if this had been a brush, 3-in-1 on a brush would have just ruined it. But 3-in-1 on one of these, you just roll it right off. Look at that. Clean as a whip and ready to go for the next time I have to spread 3-in-1 or Fabri-Tac. It's just fantastic. I'm so, so, so pleased with that little handy hint. That I love that we teach each other and share everything freely. Okay, that looks good. I'm very happy. So I don't know if you can see. There's the top. And it just looks kind of old and grimy, which she is. And that looks kind of old and grimy, which it is. I like that it still has a little flexibility the way the heads and foots of books do. I'm happy with how that looks. Now, where's the one I was thinking of? We might as well, I only have a few more minutes left on my timer, so we might as well just talk. Let's talk doilies. So I have these ones that I could cut apart, wash, restarch, and iron. Because they're basically the same. They're just, they've been pulled in this shape. Mind you, it's got the edging on it on this side and not on that side, so I might go for an interior one. Because they're nice and small. Or else, this was the one I was thinking of, but now I'm not sure I like this color. And it's tea-dyed, so that's a done deal. I may still use it inside. I think this one is too bulky. That's really, really thick right there. But if I just cut it and glue it on, no. Now there's this one that I could just use a little bit at the edge and sort of run it off the edge. I have some that are thinner. Like this is one of those really, really fine ones that is just thread. And that I could simply use that little bit. And then you might say, well, Catherine, you went to all that trouble of grunging this up and making it look nice, and now you're covering it up. But you know what? I may, because I'm still just thinking about this, I may get this book together and say, you know what? I like this. I'm happy with this. I'm not going to put the lace on there. So I'm just sort of talking to myself right now, and of course talking to you. So let's see. No, these are pure white. That's not going to happen. This is too thick. This is, boy, that one's well starched. No, that's too loosey-goosey. No, too thick and too white. Isn't that pretty? My mother used to do this pattern all the time. I have a couple of her tablecloths that are this pattern, like big though, not this tiny. She wasn't one for little doilies, but she did have a few larger tablecloth ones. I don't mind that, but I'm so happy with how this binding took that I'm no longer convinced I have to add lace here. Oh, I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that at all. That's pretty, but again, I don't think there's enough. No. That's too thick. Now this is interesting. I wonder if that would tea dye, because it's too white. But it feels polyester. It doesn't feel like it's cotton. And polyester usually, instead of tea dyeing into a nice beige, sort of turns purple. Because that would have been, that would have been kind of nice. No, you know what? I don't believe you because I paused for a few minutes, so I'm not listening to you. Now this one is a nice shade. It's not too brown. The bigger one that I tea dyed really soaked up the dye. Both tea dyed, and look at the difference in shade. I actually don't mind that either. I'm going to put that aside. Nope. Now which is, I can't tell which is the correct side. Looks like there's different thread in that. There's a thinner thread and then there's sort of a shimmery thread in there. No. No, all right, well, at least I think we sorted it down to 2. Okay, let me put these away. And I see we're at 29 minutes. So once again, as ever, we didn't get a whole lot done. But what we got done was very important. And you know what? I'm not sure I've ever shown that part of me working on a spine before. Look at how nice and strong that is now. Let's take these off. We can take one last look. Oh. There we go. We can take one last look. Yep, that's not bad. That's actually nice and sturdy. It's still quite flexible, which is important. Once you start layering up the hinges and joints, it can get really, really stiff and bulked up. Oh, there's a hair. There we go. And that's nice and wobbly, which I wanted. And this one's nice and wobbly, which I wanted. Yeah, you know what? I'm quite okay with this. I may very well just leave it be. It's so beautiful. It's just my kind of book. Now I'm finished. I'm out of time. I am going to go in there and just with a very fine paintbrush, just drizzle a little, or just paint in a little bit of ink in there. And because I can see that white, it's glaring at me like gray hair on my head. So I'm going to go in and take care of that. All right. Well, listen, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you're doing well, and everyone who you love, I hope they're safe and healthy. So take care. We will talk soon, hopefully tomorrow. Bye. Have a great day.